Hey, what's going on, superhero fans? This is Comic Hero Talk. I am Jacob Bartley, and this is my thoughts on The Flash Season 3. I finally caught up. I lost track somewhere in the middle of the season. I wasn't able to watch the episodes weekly, but they put them on Netflix, and I finally finished Flash Season 3. The Flash has been one of my favorite TV shows on television in the past few years, and I thought Season 1 is one of the best comic book television seasons ever made. So I really love The Flash. Season 2 took a bit of a dip. I would say Season 3 is a little bit better than Season 2, but nowhere near as good in quality as Season 1. But I still really did like Season 3. I didn't love everything they did with it and how it ended, but there were some really cool things with what happened. Now, before I get started, I will say this is going to be a spoiler discussion, if you will, between me and the viewer. So I will be spoiling plot points talking about The Flash. So if you have not finished Flash Season 3, please pause this video and come back and watch it. Alright, you have been warned. I'm going to go ahead and jump all the way to the season finale right now. There are a few things I like, a few things I don't like. I love the sacrifice that HR made. It's so weird because a few episodes before the finale, I swear, I was thinking to myself, I was like, so they have HR, he's from Earth whatever, and he's on Earth 1 right now. They have Harrison Wells from Earth 2. They call him Harry, right? So I was thinking, alright, so they have Tom Cavanaugh, I believe that's how you pronounce his last name, right? They have him playing multiple Wellses. They could always bring in another Wells. I was like, HR or Harry are expendable, because if you kill off one of them, you still have the actor to play the other one. I was like, it's kind of a cop-out in a way, but it's also kind of really clever for the show, and because everyone loves that actor, especially when he played the villain in Season 1. So I'm glad they found a way to keep him around. And I was thinking this like 2 episodes before the finale, I was like, whoa, one of them could die soon. I was like, probably in Season 4 one of them will die, but no, look, sometimes I can predict stuff. I was, not that like I'm dumb, but I just didn't think they would ever do that. Switch in HR for Iris when Savitar kills him. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. I was totally caught off guard by it. I thought Iris was going to die. I thought they were setting up for Iris to die. Part of me, not that I'm a cruel person, but for storytelling purposes, part of me wanted Iris to die to see how Barry handles that, knowing that he eventually destroys himself in the future because of Iris's death. How does someone deal with that, knowing that they go down a path to destruction after losing their loved one? I was curious to see how that was going to be handled, but they didn't. I'm glad Iris is still alive. I used to hate Iris, not specifically the character or the actress. The actress does a great job, but I always felt like she was unnecessary until Season 2, when she started becoming the voice of reason for Barry. So I do think she's necessary. All these superpowered beings are around him, all these authoritative beings. Joe's a cop. Iris is that one person he can go talk to with an outside perspective, who's not in law enforcement, who's not a superpowered being, who he can get advice from. And I felt that her character found her footing in Season 2, so I'm glad she's sticking around, bottom line. But HR, man, I didn't cry, but I got the chills, man. I can't believe he sacrificed himself that way. And it made sense because, and before that, he kept saying, oh, I finally found my purpose. And we thought it was with the girl that they meet. And he falls in love before he dies. He falls in love with that girl. And obviously, she's probably going to stick around. The scientist lady, I forget her name, that HR has a romance with. But yeah, just overall what that character did and how he sacrificed himself. I was really starting to like his character, because at first he's useless because he doesn't bring anything, but he found his spot as a motivator, as a person who inspires the team, and he was just as important as some of the other members of that team. So I loved what they did with him in the second half of the season, and I love his sacrifice. So that's one of my big takeaways from Flash Season 3. I thought Savitar as a villain overall was okay. Funny thing is, I knew that it was Barry before I saw it, because I saw it online. I couldn't wait. So going into the reveal, I already knew. The reveal was okay, and I thought he did a pretty good job portraying Savitar, but it was like another one of those things where like, oh, he's battling himself. It's like a metaphor for like Barry Allen, his worst enemy is himself. So that was kind of reflective on that, and it was cool. I don't know, some of the stuff with the way Savitar was handled didn't make sense to me. I'm like, if you know that Savitar is gonna remember everything that you do, then why even allow him to do that? Like, you could find a way to like get around like him being able to predict what you're gonna do. I felt like they could have found, the characters aren't dumb. They're all really smart characters. I feel, and they tried to erase Barry's short-term memory, and that didn't work. But they could have found a way. They could have completely taken Barry away from the team and just had them figuring out a way to hide Iris or get Iris out of there somehow, or get him away from Savitar. But it all worked out. HR sacrificed himself. Not that that's a good thing. They moved on really quickly from HR's death. Like, they mourn it for a little bit and then they just move on, which I kind of hate when movies and TV shows do that. So that was another negative for me. But I did really like some things about The Flash Season 3. And I will start with the Invasion crossover event. And I think it was like episode 8 of The Flash, and it crossed over with Arrow, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow. I really liked the Invasion. The action was disappointing in Invasion. Like, there were some cool moments, but the thing that I really liked about the Invasion crossover is the character interactions, like seeing Oliver interact with Supergirl, and you know, all the different members of each team interacting with each other. I thought each episode on all the shows were great for that whole event thing, and I really liked that Invasion event. Barry going into the Speed Force was really cool. It didn't deliver as much as I thought it would, because I thought we were going to see like, because I imagine the Speed Force like kind of just like it's like space, like it's endless, and it's like just like everything's moving really fast. That's how I imagined it. But it's like, it's actually like a physical world, a tangible world. Like he can be inside of a home or a building or something like that. And the Speed Force is just like you're in a dream, basically what it is. So it was cool just seeing Barry go into the Speed Force in general, and how it kind of messes with you and toys with your emotions and all that. And I thought it was really cool how whoever was being kept prisoner in the Speed Force is basically reliving their worst moment over and over and over again. Like, that's hell to me. So that was pretty cool. But overall, I thought they could have handled the Speed Force a little bit better. But I just thought the fact that we got to see Barry spend a whole episode in the Speed Force, I thought that was pretty cool. One of my favorite episodes of this season is when Barry goes back in time and gets Leonard Snart, aka Captain Cold, and brings him back to help him steal that power source from Argus. Loved that episode because, you know, we've seen Snart on this journey to becoming a hero, and we know he sacrificed himself at the end of Legends Season 1. But, you know, different timelines, he's still alive in other timelines. So, and I love the relationship between Barry and Snart. It's so good. It's been great since Season 1. I love seeing them together. And Snart basically kind of reversed on the Flash, and no pun intended, and was the one to kind of prevent him from doing something bad. Like, Flash has to steal this power source, and King Shark is guarding it, and he's about to kill King Shark. And Leonard Snart says, no, there's a way without getting this without killing him. And I thought that was great. And he saved Snart while risking his life, and while risking not getting the device. He risks all that to save Snart. So I've always loved that relationship. It's one of my favorite things in the Flash series as a whole. So great episode in my opinion. Another really cool moment that I freaking loved, I rewatched it again, is when Caitlin turns into Killer Frost. By the way, Killer Frost is awesome. I like Killer Frost better than Caitlin Snow. I'm sorry. I like Caitlin, but I think she brings so much more to the show as Killer Frost. So I hope she stays Killer Frost, and the way the season ended, I think that's going to be the case. But when she glides through the Central City, like freaking like Iceman from the X-Men, just like gliding through the city, I thought that was so awesome. I know it's TV special effects and they're not that great, but with Barry chasing her, zooming around, and freaking she's gliding, I loved it. Those are the type of moments why I love these shows. You get those comic booky moments where you're like, oh my goodness. And I know the special effects could be better, but that aside, I do really like that moment. I thought it was really, really, really cool. I really liked the attack on Gorilla City and the attack on Central City episodes. I thought those were really awesome. I loved that where it's like a gladiator match between the Flash and Gorilla Grodd. Man, I really like those episodes. Now that I think about it, I kind of like this season more than I really thought I did. Another thing that I really liked is the duet episode. It was cheesy. It was really cheesy, but it was fun. I liked Music Meister. I liked that Music Meister wasn't evil. He did that to save them, to like get them back on track, to get the heroes back with their loved ones so they're not distracted by, you know, having relationship problems. And I thought that was really cool because we get all these villains who are evil. They want to take over the world. They want to kill the main character. They want to do cruel acts. But he did this to save them in a way. And I thought that was a really cool touch. Another big thing for me with season 3 is Wally West. I did not like Wally at first. When the character first came on the screen, I didn't like the act. Not personally, but I just didn't like the way the actor was portraying the character. I didn't like the character, but Wally's really coming to his own lately. I actually really like Wally West, and I think he's become a real important part of the show. I like Jessie Quick, too. I think she's pretty cool. What I didn't like about this episode, or this season, I will say, and the finale episode, is just, I guess, the whole Savitar thing. Like, they could have come up with something better. I'm tired of Barry fighting in speedsters. Like, I understand they have the same power as him, so it's an equal battling field, but like, why does he have to fight a speedster every single time? I think they need to introduce a new villain that can keep up with him as far as fighting him, but who's not a speedster. So I know that's difficult, but they can find a way. There's plenty of villains in the comics, but don't go back to like villain of the week thing. Like, that gets old. But the way Savitar comes about, what Savitar's motivation is, how he tries to bring Savitar into like back to Star Labs and, trick him into like locking him up, and then of course Savitar is not really down for that. I just didn't like everything they handled with Savitar, and some of it didn't make sense. And also, so they say that the Speed Force has to keep a prisoner, and Jay was in there. So like, if that's the case, why did they break Jay out to help defeat Savitar? Oh, now the Speed Force is going to destroy the world. It was just a little too much for me. I want them to get back to the roots of season 1. Keep it simple. Stop introducing all these characters that are joining the team. Like, I like it when it's simple. That's why I love Arrow season 1 and 2, when it's just Diggle, Felicity, and Oliver. Like, keep it simple. I don't need, even though I like Julian and I like the new chick, like, as individual characters, but I don't need all these characters joining the team. Like, it throws off the chemistry between Cisco, Barry, and Joe, and Iris. Like, I like that team, and Caitlin, I'd rather see her be Killer Frost, but that's as big as I need Team Flash to be. I don't need freaking Julian from Harry Potter and the other chick. I mean, they're going to do what they're going to do. I think that's the team going into season 4. Hopefully they can find their footing again. I know I can't cover every single thing throughout this season 3 of Flash, but those are my main takeaways from the season. Some of the stuff that I really liked, some of the stuff that I didn't like, some of the really cool moments that I freaking gushed over as a comic book superhero fan. So overall, like, if I were to rate season 3 of The Flash, I would have probably gone with a 6. But talking about it right now and realizing how many cool moments and episodes and things there actually were throughout this season, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 7 out of 10, The Flash season 3. And that'll do it for my review. Stay tuned. I will be putting a review of Arrow season 5 up. I already finished watching it. I'm going to put that review up. I'm finishing watching Supergirl. I'm going to put up my review of Supergirl Season 2. And eventually, I don't know if Legends is on Netflix yet, but I will put my Legends Season 2. And then when the shows come back, hopefully I can review episode by episode. That'd be pretty cool, huh? And I will be reviewing Defenders and Punisher in August and November. So that'll be really cool. And yeah, subscribe to Comic Hero Talk if you like superheroes. That's my motto. I'm Jacob Bartley. Thanks for watching. Till next time. See you later.